In Johnstown, Pennsylvania, in 1889, the South Forks Dam collapsed and caused one of the greatest natural disasters in the history of the United States. But it wasn't all due to nature. The dam was built in 1853 and was the largest of its time, spanning 284 meters long and 22 meters tall. It was created to study the canal water levels, which connected Johnstown to the Atlantic coast and, more importantly, to Pittsburgh's, which is the steel industry center. This was very important since one of the key features of Johnstown was their steel mill. Unfortunately for the canal, a year after the dam was finished, the railroad project was finally finished, connecting the two cities, making the canal and thus the dam obsolete. Since the dam was no longer needed, several aristocrats came together and decided to buy the dam and the lake to make South Forks Fishing and Hunting Club. They built several vacation homes, a clubhouse, horse stables, and even stocked the lake with fish. They also did some renovations to the dam, taking off 3 feet of its height to make the road wider so that 2 cars could go in either direction. They removed pipes from the discharge chamber, they clogged the culvert, and they placed a net over the spillway to keep the fish that they had just put in. They also repaired the dam with only mud and straw from many of the storms. Now, since this area did indeed have many storms, flooding was not uncommon. However, on May 31st, 1889, the city received 10 inches of water, which drastically increased the level of water. This was greatly worrying Colonel Ellis J. Undridge, the president and manager of the South Forks Hunting and Fishing Club. He and several others went out and tried to raise the height of the dam. They also tried removing the fishing net, but their efforts were in vain since at 2:55 p.m. the dam broke. This released 3.8 billion gallons of water, traveling at 40 miles per hour through 2 other cities before finally reaching its destination in Johnstown. The water created a 39-foot wall filled with houses, barbed wire, trees, human and animal bodies, railroad cars, and many other debris, which destroyed everything in its path. 2,208 people lost their lives, of which 396 were children. Entire families were taken out, and 98 children were left orphaned. It caused $17 million worth of destruction, which in today's money would equate to $500 million. The American Society of Civil Engineers did an inquiry and found no one at fault, as did the court system at the time. However, in 2016, it was revealed that due to the club's interference, the structural integrity of the dam was decreased to half its original. The causes of these issues can be contributed to many things. One being the South Forks Fishing and Hunting Club values. Values are something that can make or break in an organization, and in this case, it broke. The club valued its patrons having a good time over the structural integrity of the dam. The placement of the fishing net is a blatant example of this. A spillway is somewhere where the debris and excess water can run off, making the dam more structurally sound. By building a bridge and adding fishing net to it caused the spillway to not work properly and significantly contributed to the breakage. A company prioritizing their values over safety can cause immense destruction, as seen here. Another reason for the deaths of so many is conformity. Unger sent a warning to the town closest to the dam of its impending downfall and asked them to warn Johnstown. The warning never made it there. There had been many times where they were told the dam would break. They simply did not believe it and thus did not warn Johnstown. They conformed to what had happened every time before and thus killed over 2,000 people. The last reason this occurred is diffusion of responsibility. Several people owned and ran the club and knew the culvert was clogged. The culvert is the way to divert water, helping reduce the pressure on the dam. By it being clogged, It weakened the dam, which many people knew about. The problem was that they believed someone else would handle it. Not holding yourself and others accountable can cause uncertainty in who is responsible, and thus it will not get done. This contributed greatly to the downfall of the dam. All of this put together is a recipe for destruction. One thing that could have prevented this from happening is having a designated person to address when there is an issue and assign it to somebody. Having a person that will address a situation and find someone to fix it or be responsible for it would eliminate diffusion of responsibility. They could also just be the person to call a meeting and discuss assigning it to somebody. If the club would have had someone like this on their team, then the culvert would have gotten unclogged, which would have helped the dam during the storm and possibly saved all of Johnstown. Thank you.